So, oh my God, the share Mamma more has Sompa TV so and ye. I rap from Tobraka Bonia Bob one or deba Sumuya Damo Live. Facebook near Sompa 93.1 and a YouTube I Sompa TV and somewhere the Banya Makotino be any. Mampanya Nado, a bomb Methodist as a Fonwaba so a modern Bonia to watch out the Bois Ghana mine. Mampenina and Adudanko Kufado Crona, the Atuja say, ain't sit Dasa Fia Batuono, MPP Bear or Maginisa Womu AVM. Can I Mampanya John Dramani Mahama, the Atuja was in Yamaya, Domno Ba. Ghana Yaka would draw ya, Diano say. Obetimi chichi ebranim ne ba akotoso de afutu koma abanyofo no sese omo botaya omo edebe pemam pani adi ene so omo bebo mayi kro no a ganafo emfa nche wo mokra ana sema mantefe do mantamo ya tete se pebra ne si ho no no wo so afo ye hwe ma Ghana fudie won sam so abayi no wo se awiem sakraye enso ka ho bi ora eye alankojo kiremate ne abede se kro do mane ne bidie ensoja ne osre ene se Ganafo mfatumi ma no wo se ba bia ye duro no ofisi constitution em waye ndisi eda tumi manua obasesa no kra afai CPP amanyoko no so wan makwa yi mpanyefo ahodo bi a wababa boa ama afia batuo no omatimi edi nkoni abzafo weni afofro pinu an ya kekese ne ne sekase ababia wo bia na wiye ba na yede ababesom yemfa seda ema enyuma ekoyi OCP Ghana Limited what the OCP fertilizers at the aba afei express group ye can for their mouth cloud internet the fastest internet in the world 21st clinic was a sciatica expert liberty conference no nyame yadoma eba so wachina and eba so ntia no wahye so through herbal center what through core capsules and so atayechia yadaka se boyi eba ba som na so fo banu ya atana se amizo and so aso asebie eyeme akosia aje wakode boaten menimenia nana ya obo amalibi aboga ensemni abzafo ye sheka se na se de free man pani na adodanko akufu ado watchman PC be mabo ada na tena ye na methodist asafo no e de omudwumedie kese bi okumasi abonten so a wono e conference e na wono eyeye e ma man pani na adodanko akufu ado ba ye de nanim nyamba betachire na conference na se e na man pani na adodanko akufu ado bo se koma Ghana ma de se nyina se de oso ye bia mafia batuo no a ye boboy ho ne yakwakoto no eya sumdwe ewi asumdwe ma abatuo no nyina nsunsanso ba bonte asumdwe mu no ono mampani na adodanko akufu ado beye eno eche na wode etuga se wo mo kika se an as MPP for person mu wi abani mu no wo se eba abatuo nwie mu a eno MPP amanyuku yamfa ntete wunum nti ensi da se MPP amanyuku be o madwen safia batuo no a ye boboy ho yakwakoto no wodo mo ebe wiem oso NDC ene amanyuku no omo keka sansem no enim se enye saa ana MPP amanyuku unuma etie mampani na adodanko akufu ado nsema ode tudwa enra ewo John Wesley Methodist asafo womo enhyemu kese a womo yeye ukumase aseni
MPP government is clear about its obligation and duty to ensure that the impending elections are conducted in an atmosphere of peace and security. And the security agencies will be alive to their responsibilities and will ensure that the free will of the Ghanaian people and their choice of national leadership will be manifest, free of violence and intimidation. I'm certain that the behavior of the Ghanaian people and their government and public authorities will put to shame all the naysayers, all the Jeremiahs, including, unfortunately, some persons of the cloth, who instead of preaching peace, are bent on raising the specter of election rigging and Kenyan-style bloodletting. They will be disappointed. The 2024 elections, like the previous ones we have held in Ghana and the Fourth Republic, will be conducted peacefully and in total compliance with the laws of the country. As far as the ruling MPP party is concerned, a party born from the noble Danko Dondo Busia political tradition, who spearheaded the national resistance to authoritarian one-party rule in Ghana in the First Republic. Rigging is not part of our DNA. We have been and are eternal Democrats. We trust and accept the freely accepted express judgment of the people.
Abuzianfo Reme Dani Ranwan Seno Mampenina na Dudanko Akufo-Addo ene yetin nkan.
Alfabia no mampanye toa so ekyeremu se woremo no ansore ahodo bi a womoboa ama ma Ghana etumi koso no wotumi nka na wanyi metri sasafo emfa mfiri mu kura wase asafo ne bo mo modern fa no suku adan hospitals ahodo ene anuoma ahodo bo mo man tumpon ko na nimbia no asafo no ayere won mafam bi adeboa enam saya so ntiri won waye mampanyina wati akonya so na safata se obo asafo no abaso na wahye won nkran papa pase modern bo no won mobo no aban no hunu na eye ne fe yi pa so.
The Kufuor-led MPP government is clear about its obligation and duty to ensure that the impending elections are conducted in an atmosphere of peace and security. And the security agencies will be alive to their responsibilities and will ensure that the free will of the Ghanaian people and their choice of national leadership will be manifest, free of violence and intimidation. I'm certain that the behavior of the Ghanaian people and their government and public authorities will put to shame all the naysayers, all the Jeremiahs, including, unfortunately, some persons of the cloth who, instead of preaching peace, are bent on raising the specter of election rigging and Kenyan-style bloodletting. They will be disappointed. The 2024 elections, like the previous ones we have held in Ghana in the Fourth Republic, will be conducted peacefully and in total compliance with the laws of the country. As far as the ruling MPP party is concerned, a party born from the noble Dankwa Dondo Busia political tradition, which spearheaded the national resistance to authoritarian one-party rule in Ghana in the First Republic. Rigging is not part of our DNA.
Our President Bishop Adama Methodist Asafo no Most Reverend Dr. Paul Kebwafo one so akasa gina Methodist Asafo nyina nemu esre MPP ni NDC so obasra pa afia bato no yemanya asumdwi
to elect new president and parliamentarians. As a church, we believe that it is a civic responsibility for every registered member of the church and of this country to go and exercise their franchise, to vote people to lead in our nation and in our communities. We are going to elect people of integrity, people of honor for our constituencies. My humble advice is that the electorate must be resolute to elect those who will address the needs of Ghanaians. Let us do away with selfish candidates who will only be interested in their well-being, the well-being of themselves and their families. Let us not sell our conscience. The monetization that is creeping speedily into our politics is worrying. And we have to watch this. I tell people, as you take these monies, you are taking the proper road to your community.
I President Bishop Adama Methodist Asafo no Most Reverend Dr. Paul Kebuafo.
Observe the move free man penny and I do danko kufu atena ye near the marco na bedi e Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia so no na atena ye na mama ni tua say de ono nani abere de ni bidi so ja kasa mrekra de wanane a wosre Ghana for se emfatumi ma no na ne papa ku ni boss na do danko kufu ado wachima PC wo krui na nka ono so ento so se man penny na onfa ne nhihye papa ne tirimo po enwa kwamu magana ma de hye anu nti onamu ene omayi ne ntrodo ne ntu asaso a wo cheche ne nsemu de akire Ghana for na eno okopie dome kwabenya abaton peso aso ekobo nto akakra ne adehye a ewon potemo no mokokohia ne honom eno de eto omanim se so don for ya dom na se de tumi mano se mampani omayi mu a ade obeye pa ne kosibu ne kan se CCTV camera si wo de pim ene bitintim omayi etire eni tire nyina wo se ebeboa eme bambo ho nsensam SCP esita ama boa so eme bambo adwuma efo no so no wo madwuma ya wono mo eye no ayemre e de ama wunum Vice President Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia ensemni.
Few weeks ago when I got to Wa, someone had just been murdered, someone had just been killed at the lorry station. Actually, it was a driver's mate who was sleeping at the station who was killed. And there were a series of killings that were happening in Wa. So the one told me about it, and I was thinking. So when I came back, I was asking whether we could not, whether the CCTVs, because we had put in some CCTVs across the country, had not captured the criminals, but they said that they didn't have CCTV in that particular location. So I called National Security and I said, what will it take for Ghana to have CCTV on all the streets in all of our regional capitals and all of our district capitals, so that we can see any crime that is taking place, we know who, or we can at least have a clue. So they came back to me and they said they needed 50,000 CCTV cameras, and they are going to get 50,000 CCTV cameras. We are going to provide so that the police will have visibility for every movement, because we don't have enough police to be everywhere. And because I know in Accra, I won't mention the name, but someone was murdered, and the CCTV camera caught the murderer leaving the scene, and they went and caught the person. So it is very, very important, because in places like China and so on, all the place is covered. So all criminal activity can be tracked. So I am going to introduce 50,000 CCTV cameras in all district capitals, all regional capitals, to support the police and the security agencies.
We a Vice President Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia and yetening ken.
Kanema Panyera John Dramani Mahama Kwakasa Awajmedia Biase Wankramantamu Foreign Direct Investment Series. Ana Kwakasa was Siasan Yabena Nyame Yadom. Na wonya kwanya na batena kwanya so biem samampanyina wo man no yesika sam ne ade obetumi atoto ne yie na kwanya wo befa so na o my Ghana ya kwono aye daso obi betumi de ne sika botene ababa ye adwuma oha no sa ne man nyina atumi awie mu die na eno no de akwakoto dwa etre se ye nuano investors ha na won wo pepa se wo mde mu sika baba se o my Ghana ya dwade mu o so bebie be enwuma wo ha na o my maburu nya adwuma ye ne ade no wo se afo ne nyina se o my Ghana nya o makono biem enye ndika sansa aban no wankasa no wo mo ne ho so wonya na adwene se ekatwetwere dia hodo no a da ho no no wo betumi atuatua ama Ghana ye ho atumi ahen ye wase wo ne nyina na aka ho bie ama oman ne mu ntumi nya akono se e benya investors awodo bi a wo betumi de o musika ababa boa o mayi na nyame ya dom no ababa tena akonya sema mpanyina wo be de bi ebi de aboa pa ama Ghana mu aye de mu aye akono na ye ka wodo ye de no wasan so atuatua amaye.
An example is fiscal and monetary policy, which affect the business environment but under the control of the Ministry of Finance and the Bank of Ghana, respectively. Therefore, under the next NDC government, there will be both general and targeted policy interventions to create a sound environment for all businesses to thrive and to deal with specific bottlenecks that impede the effective and efficient operation of businesses in Ghana. Providing specific incentives to foreign investors to help address our investment deficits in the shortest possible time will form an integral part of the strategy to reset the economy and to bring it back from the brink of collapse. The following are highlights of priority general interventions, and I'm sure that this is the meat of my speech. And so, 1, the revocation of nuisance taxes, such as the COVID levy, e-levy, as well as the review of tax rate level to levels that are globally competitive. A new NDC government shall respect the sanctity of contracts, and I'm sure many of you are waiting to hear this, properly executed that deliver value to the people of Ghana and to the investor. Several investors have complained about the lack of commitment on the part of government to honor outstanding financial commitments in respect of goods and services that have been provided. I've taken notice of this important issue, and I want to assure all those in that situation currently that we will take an inventory of all that, and our government shall urgently work to resolve all these payment issues through a system that will be transparent and timely, just as happened when I was president. Efficiency in government spending will be implemented to weed out waste and corruption at both the national and local levels. Electricity or energy sufficiency, reliability and affordability will be urgently worked on. Reform of strategic state-owned enterprises such as the Electricity Company of Ghana and the Ghana Water Company to
Kanema mpanyi Rajon Dramani Mahama.
Ozafo eguso adem wa manyosemu na ya aka debe bosome miensa na Ghana fo ye bobo ho akwakoto obedie ehire so paso said denia ye kase ene amanyofo yi wo mpemu da yegumpa no isusu de ne kesanwemu a ene yewo yakọ MPP ni yakọ NDC na yemfamo enko afafrantoy yera alankojo kirematen eye movement for change ku no wona sesei odie ni mu a kese omoko betri echecho munsemu amana to Ghana fo asum se beyo ne yebeda tumi dia ma yera alankojo kirematen omayi yebeya bakosem ya yebeyi MPP ni NDC nyina esinchene na yede akwakoma eye obi a wokose kontenkro na yera alankojo kirematen dia twugia se be bia omayi aba bedro sese no ofise ye hawo ya tete ye problem se namu pinu a ejina eye yamamra constitution amamra ne nchi amano a yede eye adwuma no ofise ye hawo pinu a ejina enoso nti se ye sesa no na ba bia wo se ye teretere no ye teretere ba bia wo se ye miam ye biabiamu a enke beboa ye mpa sense ye bekekere constitution no na se nipa kuma bi eno mo edidi ho na da ho no mo sa no man na de che dodo no a da bia na gesa wonye hia ene atete eno mo namu yera alankojo kiremate de sansame tugawabra otisimu onkrapompre ntemo se obontoa na wachekere ni suade hunu mu de akere Ghana for.
Most people are complaining that this winner takes all syndrome does not help our country. MPP comes in, and once they get into power, all appointments are reserved for MPP members. If NDC is in power, all appointments are reserved for NDC. It doesn't make sense. The country is for all Ghanaians, not NDC and MPP. So Alan is talking about a government of national unity, where we can mobilize the strengths, the talents of all Ghanaians. Those who are in a position to do the job, they should be the ones who are giving the job. The fact that when I was Minister for Trade and Industry, I was able to introduce a new policy to assemble vehicles, including buses, including articulated trucks in Ghana. It means that if I become president, I can improve the fleet for the transport sector. And what is even more interesting is that I'll make sure that government provides seed money and funding for drivers to own their own fleet on a work and pay basis.
Observe for nti we ye yera alankojo kirematen ena yete ngen.
ya call and some from when you call your food who and some so na sebra wo call a tifido mantam ni bia sese pa brane pa ya nya asem keto na ama ne muso ya anhwe ya enche kora nnuane ho abehya se akwatwe e wo magane mu yenim se mo ate ho asem mu nkomobon so akoso e wo mayi mu na ano na osofo ya wo hwe magane mfudie so yira brane champion wode atudwa akere se na ewiem asesa ensakraya bawiem na se de ne anim se ye wo bre ene bosumi ahodo bi a yedua no baye ene ye wo bosumi bi a yeditwa no se sansakra ne nyina no abawiem ntino amanuom adane pa na won ma hunu ne ntam ene akuafo ani nkomo eno titiru pa so ka ho bi ena ma ne de ye hunu no atumi akwakoba no saa enam saa ye so ntino wo se aban ne gunhihye so ene nuoma pa so se ne ne kine yada no wone ye nuanom akuafo be hia na sempo se won benya kwan bi so se ne yede nsuo be kokomia mia ahodo bi yede be gugu so ama nkrofo ho to one more. One bar sa amagani no barno, a general suni fudie no, asaso do so.
I think we have a dry spell. What we are experiencing is not a drought condition. It's not a drought, but it's a dry spell that has been extended, causing what we call near drought conditions. But it is not a drought. We've had some newspapers and journalists report that we have a drought situation. No, it's actually a dry spell. And this dry spell was actually predicted by the Ghana Meteorological Agency. So we knew about it. We knew that it was going to take some time. We did send an advisory to farmers, which advisory was interpreted differently. So farmers went ahead to plant, and this is where we are.
I was away. I also for ya was she and foodie so or Brian a champion.
I was for young from free from way, not young from school. Na also for the HR show my young messia so a reverend a intim for Joe. Na osasio emraswe gani o womraswe gefima this year e wo asen south abaton pesia so e wo mfimfi mantem de futu akọ e de amaya krachefo no ene ye wura abafo no se ye masuku so manfa so e ma omayi ene ye mpotamu a yete wose ye kroma se nipa bebrebe na akosuku we kuta professor we sukuta doctor we simi kuta degree we simi kuta masters be miensa na so nipa no so akosuku no a okuta professor kuta doctor no eniema obeye no ugire ba bia na wubusa won se na we no so wa school no ye no so ye krachi ne no yeyi eno se wo ye uraba no ana papa edi sanseme tujawabra na Cape Coast Technical University wo mo edidwuma wo mfinfi mantemo ena na ode ade srei etu ya krachefo no nim se suku bebrebe ne yesi yakono a yekuta bodin krata gudem no eya ye maso emamfa so emma ye mpotamu ene ye maya yetimo Reverend John Intimfojo.
The most powerful weapon to change the world is education. Education is the weapon that is most potent to change the world. And we have witnessed, we have seen, we have heard or read how some countries deploy this strategy in transforming the fortunes of their economies. The time has come for us as Africans to leverage on education as the surest strategy to transform the fortunes of our continent. Regardless the gold, the bauxite, the timber, and all the natural resources we may be endowed with, we can only leverage on the human capital to get us out of our challenges and out of poverty. And that is why we all, as a continent, must be worried when we hear that Africa, as by 2030, will be the continent whose young people will form 42% of the global youthful population. We must be concerned that the work preparation and what of the youth on the whole world globally who will contribute 42% of innovations, 42% of the jobs that ought to be created, and 42% of the inventions that we must see. We all must be concerned. And so, as education ministers, as researchers, as education stakeholders, and people who influence policies and investments across the continent, we must equally be concerned about the fact that out of the 244 million young people between the ages of 6 and 18 that are out of school globally, about 40% equating to about 98 million of them, are from Africa alone.
Observe nti we Reverend John Intim Fodro we also for be the church show mayi engumesia so saso mrasebe dwani obo mrasebe fima desia e wa sen south abatom pesia so na no si ya na Professor Koku Educhumbuachi one vice chancellor wada Cape Coast Technical University ano one so no e de kakra eso minister so de so say
education has always been the progenitor of change in every society. All the paradigm-changing efforts of history have been driven by knowledge, which is the direct product of education acquired both formally and informally. Let me hasten to indicate that indigenous forms of knowledge have been ignored for far too long, and we will have to be intentional about integrating them into what we know. It is a well-documented fact, for example, that way before formal education in quotes came to Africa and NASA telescopes were invented, traditional people possessed advanced knowledge of the solar system and its constellations, even without telescopes. Again, long before the introduction of solar technology, indigenous fishermen have long been known to know how to tell the location and type of fish in a particular part of the sea by merely tasting the water, and they have been known to use the coastline and stars.
For Enwechre and a vice chancellor wada University of Johannesburg no South Africa no so no or the Munyam better Jumedi Yachi Binti me could be the man can be hardjane or the crash so say.
There is an African proverb that says knowledge is like a garden. If not cultivated, it cannot be harvested. Ladies and gentlemen, knowledge is like a garden. If not cultivated, it cannot be harvested. When we talk about a changing world, understanding that through the lens of the fourth industrial revolution, there are systemic shifts we are called to respond in order to remain relevant. At the heart of this response, ladies and gentlemen, is reframing education systems. This task is not one that views the fourth industrial revolution as simply a technological shift, but rather a societal overhaul.
Observe we Cape Coast Technical University and Yakoye.
CPP Amanyokono Opanyepaya or National Communication Officer Dema Wonom Ayora was say Kofi Aquameka say which Musa Amanyokoni Guambo so paya and check Ayreswa September Bosum that Tosso 9 1 more Quacotoba. Now one more nipa was Safata so to Franca Ade Amamanyukono. Now what Chassa and say Akra won't be a moto one nipa Makumako and Num. And na one more buy any more, and then one more church sika amanabaka mienu miemu and as had one more the by sir bibinti and yadia umbetumi agina na yato one more swab beam sebre de mienu and na one more her ni musa nyame yadomo September was on that also and 9 na just say ukwada ebe ya yreshoano one beto aba no ma yi frankatunia obaboa ama CPP amanyukono edin kunima fi
Bosomea a year September, Leda, Bosomine, first was on the 4th, you have to talk about a CPP. Yes, CPP, yeah, and say, the friend aggregated Congress, they were congregated Congress, and they were congregated Congress. Congregated me, Yena, Patina, Kubutin, Ku, Elberdy, Yatuaba, even before. La, Batu Kotuno, Ukwada, Ebe, and say, Mantem, yeah, readings, I would want to be a better or no, but to my back. For example, a country region, so we Kumasia, I won't be Kumasi, no matter the dear, even no, Amatuaba, Central region will do the same thing. Western region, Abatomudia, I walk. If you attack party, later car, Abatomudia on crime. It's guaranteed. With the regional basis. Now, the areas are the same. You know, yeah, the air, I want the answer. If you are not afraid so. Yeah, the Akari Party no Amboa. Yeah. Because elections last mini rally to rally members of the Convention Post Party ahead of 27 December. Yeah, nominating a close.
And watching so ne paya o mo hare mo say about wo mo so aba no eno so bobo di kakra.
Yeah, nomination no. Any num the far forms. Lawyer I will cover this of our form. Lawyer Wayo Ganamanti of our forms. Nabakwete of our forms. Nakuma Kuma of our forms. And a lawyer and not from form. And so ever fire. CPP would dog. CPP one could Uncle for a transfer to a far form. I'm returning here. Ora lawyer I will cover this or returning here. It's going to be and I'm from Kuma Kuma. It's going to be lawyer and not from form. It's going to be Ora Wayo Ganamanti Etia. Emufa na ezo went to and and say one swing and he was disqualified. Uncle for no converted. Now na about to return on that won't fun of
okay
on condition of health issues, I say another say a fear 20,000 a year. Apobudinti odrima na sigara otuane de odi so abua party no enipa miensa ana na yajo mafimo a nka omunyina no eba be press na ewiete no owura disi e withdraw ye so you don't free I can't see them.
I was your warrior national communication officer Dema CPP amanyoko no ora wo se kofi akwana no na through herbal center na ya kan for dem wo se Winya one cocoa capsules ni bia ebeboa wo eye 3 cocoa capsules edro yu benya bia to kolena heba dani heba misty ane epidrank eye kama pa etumi sisi ade cocoa ane wayam tim 0546 107107 0546 107107 cloud internet ana efreway wase fa internet won sam nyina badan wo mo na wonom wo papa open Wi-Fi, CCTV camera, digital security locks, web hosting, and the kaka one air cloud. Top high, 1 Love FMD and Shanimu 0202 699 110 0202 699 110 Liberty Conference nyame ya tomwa wachina na eba suo nyasem keto ma ampaya ebedwa pa aya 31st August nyame ya doma wachina anopa no nsia kan akokodiko ne yahase ewo Jubilee Park brabi wate na obeyen hira shana so aman ne yodubu ache wo na ejire mo se nyame akwa nyame difo ya wasra ne ngo afa ya to nsa ade afra jontofo pinu a oro ko fepepra wo ba bi yero kwaku jesi Minister Kwame Jedun so aka ho bi enti brabi na obeyen hira Express Group nie kuma se wo airport runabout ana safo labor runabout and cry we hu one more kaneshi first light wase wo bese wo tu kwan wo pa kwanto ma futu sem de beboa watenetene wabrabo ebem wo hunu wo da achie ni da so mu a Expresso Canada US UK Australia New Zealand Germany na apasa wo kwa fa wo kodom Express na wono mo 0249 00 0448 0249 00 0448 OCP Ghana Limited ya kan for diamond ya na makwa for mun somwe na mun fanya dwuma aya fertilizers papa ya ne boda form a ene ya ba dwama so ya OCP NPK 15 ana ya OCP NPK 10 emodian na ope no ba na wudua fakoda wonum no nom emo a enyi fertilizer papa emfa ngu no ba no so 0555 909 437 0555 939 909 437 21st clinic ne yakan for diama say wo yesiatica expert enne ya to kwan ye konkrofo ma so South Africa ene ade ye nam ho anya sam keto akora ya to mu akosi September abosom de to sudu na ya firi ho enti wo nkrofo ma so buki appointment ntem na yedru won mo yetumi ahwew 0244 915 116 0244 915 116 ebia yade no wa kan wasem no wonya nte ne mpanyin sempen eya siateka efiri woto asentire no atwe wade aba na amro mu a emutumi ye dududu na mu hyehyew ba bia anye upagya no eya siateka yade ehwo asem ne yaka ne saa no wo ba my Ghana mu nso so ya homa ne nie 0540 311 0540 311 Mizo ane ade dan ho eno 5G drink ne wa adwama so kono ko pebi na towate na ya no de ahoden wo me yo ma hodo pinu a ya o mango de yanko a ho ane e wode afra from his fruit nso ewo ho emo bia no bisa won sabeka ana from panyifo 0246 270221 0246 270221 abusu nyina we so ani na ye ho ye ba ni akachi no ye besos
21st clinic aye sciatica expert sciatica no o nerves na wo to ase na fa wo siremu na fa wo nansia besi ase ho no se ho techema eno ene fa ne sciatica na etimi bubu o to ase ka wo se dwe wo sirem wo je ho ba bia enye na eno na 21st clinic ba ye adwuma pa wo mu yenti abaso bo magine wo Ghana ha ene amono ne enyasem ketewa Womuji international awards ahodo womuji local awards ahodo na anu nso na womu be the only sciatica research and treatment center in Africa bibrim hano ebi ni baby a gise 21st clinic nkoa womu de bibiduro ene besa o yare no masa de machine aka ho eya yare sabia yare bia wutimi de ko ne mama ade ba ko a wo magidi womu pa no eye sciatica ena stroke nso de kwa diabetes ne hypertension ne ade Ghana ha ba bia womu ho 0540 311 311 0540 311 311 That's the 21st clinic. Woman is sciatica expert.
Introducing Mixer 5G Sparkling Drink, a whole new refreshment in a can. Mixer 5G is a tasty non-alcoholic drink. It is a perfect companion for all your events, including parties, weddings, and funerals. It is made with green tea, ginseng, guarana, grapes, and grapefruit. Get refreshed with Mixer 5G Sparkling Drink. For bulk purchases, contact 0246 270 221. This advert is FDA approved.
Afuyi afuye na saduru hobiemu enti wo dwedwe fertilizer afiwei ubeyusu ana esanse afra se fertilizer woto ye amwa wo no na ma wadwuma no anyina eto ape onobaye no antumi anyini na nsodoso e ma woboka ene atumda fertilizer papa abadwa so de eno ane OCP fertilizer egumu ahodo akuafo a modo enobaye ebitise atoko ajuo emo ene atosode ahodo no omo enkoje OCP MPK 15 ana OCP MPK 10 akuafo a omoso edo legumes ebiti say soya beans, peanuts and beans omoso enkoje OCP fertilizer a eye TSP OCP fertilizer ebusu wo baabia ye ton ya yoma e wo man Ghana mu enoti atufo enfre 0555 909 437 ana 0555 909 433 OCP fertilizer papa OCP yegina ho ma Ghana ene Africa biayo
Brakasa ye duabon waso a ne dwumedi wo nipadua biara pom den ene na brabo mu ne hieye pa enye prekasa nko nuaban ne haban bi te se ko nsusu a abonwono ne dia akeka ho no kura enwanunu ahodo a ekwa animu yi ankasa prekasa ne sa nuaba bi nom ne akeka bobudi afa abefo kwan so a ye de aye prekasa powder siesi nipadua na abakwa ahodo no ho ban afri mpani yade ne yade ahodo pi ho fa enkodate de ma baako freduane anopa ne anwumre anafa enkodate de ma baako woni nsuhie yeti anopa ne anwumre wobra wodidi awie ubenya prekasa powder to Kingswalk Herbal ne Heroes Herbal Accra Okesi Drug Lane Dani Herbal Kumase Mensa Takrade Mose Pharmacy ne Greenlight Pharmacy Sunwane Kashenkari Supermarket Asantoa Herbal ne Bibidro Depot Techiman Sewa Herbal Mampong etufo mfre 0550 19 15 14 prekasa powder aduane san yedro FD ahwehwe sankratu emu agiatum
hey sewa mehu acho me na no me bisa ekra so ko abrochio
Kwaku, afeina mebeko. Menkrata krani.
Hey, eni me ma connection man for den kofo sika aduane ne wanya otedi musa no.
Oh, Express Group adarumenti according to IF4. Opese otu kwan kosua dia. Express Group do be call mind me to say Canada, US, Australia, UK, and Germany. Say a tour and se visiting so Express Group do be call Dubai, Canada, US, Australia, and Germany. Mo am pese mo tu kwan koye adwuma nso obetimi de wako Dubai, Qatar, and South Korea. If you also want to take international tests like SAT, IELTS, TOEFL, GRE, GMAT, they can help you pass easily. They can also help you secure still a good job in the UK. You should mention a crime of Kumasi as a for labor runabout where Accra and so Omo Carnation First Light, Tama Omo Community 18 Lashabi Girl Filling Station. From Omo Macho for ISO 055 555 0067 and 0249 000448.
Here in Ghana, when it comes to chicken, the good old days are back. Why? Because Boris B's Chicken, BBC, is here. Yep, give your family and loved ones Boris B's Chicken. Fresh, tasty, delicious. Boris B's Chicken is produced right here in Ghana by our cherished poultry farmers with support from the Ministry of Agric. Get whole frozen chicken, gizzard, chicken feet, chicken neck, and chicken liver for those special family meals, buffets, picnics, funerals, and all restaurants. Get Boris B's Chicken. It's halal, so everybody can enjoy. Wherever you are, call Boris B's Farms hotline 05-444-444-53. Ask for our branch that is closest to you and come get your chicken. Boris B's Chicken, BBC, proudly a Fiakoko.
Oja sum kron moja.
Yay! Edu hopiemu. Food for thought addition. Omayini ya wedubuachi. Onyame akuwa. Ofremu nyina. Se Augusti. Onyame nemu appointment. Asemu ayakasa ho. Ose there hit. Wo ifre asomafo semo. Etiedu no nwoche. Nyi mu miensa na David nyom. Etiedu watche baako. Nyi mu Jubilee Park. Kumase anopa no sia pepepepepe. Na de ube enie. Wase for plain paper na plain sheet. Mienu. Dia nyina. Jogu baako so. Na sadam. Wo pepo jefunu media ha nyina. Yahye no wo baako aka ho. Eniema papa wo pese si wo wabrabo. Eno so kiro no wo so. Shane so sa eye candle. Akwankyere. Na fa wo candle baako ka ho. Na no na ye beso. Ye dia bompai. Liberty Conference August edition. The hit. Ye bompai. Ye bebom. Na wonyame betiesi. Ni boy ni so. Oman ni ya wedu boache. Na ho fedie. Ebe nyame made. Adwumtufo ni e. Ora kwaku jesi. Minister Kwame Jedu. Minister Kofi Pepra. Wanu na bet so chom. Ahokeka kwan. The hit. August 31st. Proposi prempa obuadu poko. Calvary Bema kukodrufo. Dear friend is that what sere domino. Ope Kenya ne hu. Ye be kaya tamfo. Egu. Oh glory. Hallelujah. One more time, everybody.
Sompa TV, Emma Akituapa.
I was on for a sasso so mama kwa babi oba Sompa television ye wi aprem to bre kase so te enka obono ne afomantem ne mo a Sompa 98.9 FM ekute mo sa wo obono iso so a Sompa 90.7 FM ne ekute mo ho na asantemantem ne mpota mo nyina so no Sompa 93.1 FM so ekute mo ye to akase no so mama also for we ye inkrase ene ya papa memu so honorable Martin Jimen Sakosa na odi atudwa se contractors ya aban edi nyuma ma wo no mu a o senka sabre nkomato o monsa free ho a o mo ebola salase no aban entwentwe ne nase so sa aban ni twitwa contract no mu a obetwitwam se o se contractor no so no aban bonika etwena so a o mo ebitu sa no mo no de sansa metudwa wabra okoba pro ewo mfinfi mantem asemfo so ne mpotamo na dwene se enwuma aba ediama contractor so monye ewo asemfo so ne mfinfi mantem no eya osofo a owen krase ne apapa mamu so woko no de nani akwa akire na wo chese contractors ne dodo no a edwuma o maye ewo mfinfi mantem no no ne bo anyoso ntine ne kire ya omben hyehyɛ na de wo so mu twam no o matwam contractors so mo twena so no o mo ebetwena so ra Martin Jimen Sakosa
bebaye bebre mani nye esanse adwuma wa odi pe abeje fra ban ho aban dia ma ho sa enwuma nyina ye enwuma ehun sika da ho enye de sebe ukoye wanya sika ni nyina achi no yese minister any staff etuka ya topetu agum sa ka ni nyina akoti aban ni abeka tro se adwuma na onsa ka se wo ye no ye ni yi ana ye ni ntem ma we ye nkoye nim se ka ye ka se be kono se na ye kono na edide meka nyina ne se bo manika a contractor wo be mayama wadwuma se beye no mana san boka be ka tro se ye wadwuma yi won sem fata so be be wa be ji adwuma biem entimi as minister be mani nye no me be to krata so enti wo ko ba bi a ho kama ba bi nye aha ye ba ye project ni bi delay ye pese ye saka de be ye 2 months time na timamofo timi nya yusu afi na contractor be ka so wo de ma me bere meye wo otum memika so ahwe wakoye adwumafo entimi de meka nyina ne se baabi aye koye ye ni anye no ye be fam na kwan so ne ya blacklist sa contractors no
Observe nti we aye osofo de hwe nkrase ne ya papa mamu hu nsensem ora Martin Ajimensa kosa ne yete ne nka no na eno akire abankrache pani o wasenfosu ora Nicholas Fifi Bakon esoso de kakra eso honorable so de eso say
tutune na abanti I say enibraba se ne be yom be wi normally no abato obre se wo ye adwuma na se wantumi anwia ye hu ne fae nti eno so nche se ye prepare ho na ya ye because of senior Ghana for kan ye beto abanti na ye it's never so when you say projects most of them were awarded in 2023 tinyesi ye beto abanti na ye e de ahye so sima eninyam governance is about continuity and the process enti member bridge mai we obi obeba no so beto aso kakra krasa na chese fosu e fa ntoma efra
apropo oswafo hwe yenkrase ne ya papa mamu hu nsensem boye e wasenfosu mfimfim mantem ne mpotamo na honorable Nicholas Fifi Bakon MC a owo asenfosu esoso de kakra etoso no.
Our doctors of pharmacy 2022 batch one mo na ka se wo bofu pa wo kire mo sa aban no watenso wonte won mo hia semu a wode ato nanimu a ma to ne January akra bia kwa kwaka ne nsa no asa ban ne pese obu nua gu won ma sum anase won wakasa sum na fe won ma semu mo ka no wo yi nani kra ade firi so wo se ya ka se ba sa finie ane akire aban ne ntua won mo ka amanu me wakwakoya den de ama wonom na wo mo de omma ma ye honhom ma ye oya kire bia emanam ma fifibra ne mefiri wo mo de asem no akwakoma atoni January wo mo hwe ne mu abese nefo na duonu miensa so sanu no twam na won ma nte hwe mfra ba ne ho a na ese ebo apayo ekoba no sanu de aban ne bakokooto akogina mmara no na de ntia afini ye wontwa won mo ka no waba ba kirekire mu amumu so aso ate
Thomas in a program, a 6 years program. Until we don't say she's going to say 2016, maybe 2022. She said the name we are house job. And I said, in essence, said the amount for your national service, it'd be a friend house job. Until 2023, July, and they share a house job. And I said, a buying true pharmacy council, catch say, oh, I shall say, me allowance. I was omodema in Ebeba. Inti Ebeba na akuma na every 1 year house job no still INT feeling free pharmacy council and I say abaho. Inti no they say they are me abo so cause we edume bi I say ni abane ye ba e wa picture my inti na e dey sa kwanya yi kase e dey ya so much o ma be bi eni se be ya mo be na aban so abeke ebe we see out to but the senior maker say about paying for whether for Ministry of Health and I say pharmacy council will be any kasa information you see I'm trying to find I think it's a Wednesday press conference can see issue said there are many treating some media houses there are several attorney general with a notice that was somewhere last week last week today I 2 weeks for attorney general to respond to at least your legal system make sure so notify attorney general whether say there issue if it can be resolved and make up like a bit say attorney general no 30 days no so say 30 days now you try 2 weeks that as soon as say NTB Bianca you dey assembly the court na court the assembly
So we are doctors of pharmacy 2022 batch no na ne woni amane boni na ya obo amale bia boga akasa ye wade ache bia dwumadi so Friday special so no ayo Dr. Jeremy Owusu Afrifa
abzanfo ye nyina we so na wie nsem e papa no de ba besom no ye mfamonsi ane ye nsore e ma sompa nkomo emetwa so ye ne ye som wie na ya obo amale bia boga wie mene
akosia eje wakode boatin